If the future of world peace depended upon you pairing up with your dream girl, what would you do? Your mission is to survive the night with her against shadow demons, tentacle nightmares, and insect ladies obsessed with sex. So I'm going to break down the mistakes made, what you should do, and how to beat the demon succubus in Wicked City. The demon world is real and its creatures are in a civil war. Half the demons want to kill us while the other half want peace with humans. This simple electronic salesman is actually an elite agent serving peace between the human and demon worlds. He is about to be sent on his most important mission yet. At a bar in the city, the bartender hands this young man, Taki, some money. This is the payout for a bet, as the bartender did not believe Taki could get a date. Taki has been flirting with a woman who frequents the bar for months, but she has not been interested until tonight. The woman is freshening up in the restroom, applying some lipstick as she looks at herself in the mirror. Once she is ready, she comes into the bar and asks the young man if he is ready to head back to her place. Taki tells her he is surprised she has changed her mind and asks her what is different. But the woman just smiles at him. Back at her apartment, the woman is very eager and she takes off all her clothes and comes on to Taki. The two end up sleeping together, eventually ending in an embrace in bed. Suddenly, the woman's eyes snap open in an evil glare. Her limbs contort and lengthen, transforming into insect-like legs which wrap around the man. She is not the woman Taki has been talking to at the bar at all, but a demon who has taken on her form. The succubus demon laughs as she starts to crush the man. At the last moment, Taki manages to break free and stumbles across the room. The demon crawls out of bed, now in a grotesque four-legged form. She tells him that by having sex, she has already collected what she needs from him in a sinister tone. She promises she will see Taki again soon before crawling out of the balcony and down the side of the building. The next day, Taki is at work as an electronics salesman when he is summoned by his boss. The boss isn't interested in sales though. He has called Taki in to give him a special mission for his other job. By night, Taki is a black guard, providing security for important figures in both the demon and human worlds. There is a landmark peace treaty being signed the following day, which will ensure harmony between the demons and humans for decades to come. The boss needs Taki to serve as a bodyguard for an important ambassador who will be flying in to oversee the treaty. The boss explains that Taki will be partnered with a good demon, a black guard from the demon world. Together, they will have to make sure the ambassador lives to see the treaty being completed. Taki is surprised to learn that his partner will be a woman, who his boss describes as very beautiful. The older man points out that Taki will need to keep himself in check since he is a playboy, and women are his weakness. Okay, this is a terrible idea. Think about what just happened the previous evening. Taki here clearly has been targeted by a rogue demon who knew to assume the form of a woman he has been flirting with for over several months. This means that one or more demons have likely been tracking his routes to know that he is frequent enough customer at that bar to be such close friends with the bartender. And they may very well have planted listening or tracking devices on his body or his car and have overheard everything about the VIP due to arrive this evening. The succubus also said that she extracted everything she needed from him, that she will see him again soon. It is very obvious to me that Taki was not targeted by accident, and that the attack last night was just the first step in a much larger plan. This has to be about his role as a black guard, as it is the only remarkable thing about this, man. Knowing that the demon from last night can shapeshift to look like anyone, one possibility is that it extracted his DNA as a means to be able to transform into Taki. At the very least, the man should let his boss know that he has been well compromised, so extra measures can be taken into account for. Taki is already being tracked, and possibly there'll be imposters pretending to be him. To be safe, Taki should decline the assignment entirely. The ambassador is far too important to be guarded by somebody who is already so high on the demon's radar. And to make things worse, he has never met his partner before and has only hours to prepare for this assignment. Hours where he will be no doubt distracted by carrying out his day job. If Taki here is really the best man for the job, he should have been told about this much earlier so he can have much more time to prepare. Letting the guy know he has a crucial mission when he has to start guarding the ambassador that same evening seems like a recipe for disaster. Taki needs time to plan out the routes that he will be taking, scoping out locations he plans to visit, and sweeping all venues and modes of transportation for possible threats. And even in a best case scenario, Taki should have asked his boss for all the information their organization has on how the rogue demons operate. For example, if they are known to, plant bombs in their victims' cars, Taki would know to avoid using his usual vehicle. Him and his partner should at the very least plan how they would coordinate with each other, knowing there are shapeshifters about. You'd think it would be really important to be able to speak week ahead of the mission to let both blackguards agree on secret code words to use in order to ensure each other that the person sitting next to them is really their partner and not an imposter. That evening, Taki arrives at the airport to pick up the ambassador. Walking along the runway, he is ambushed by 2 demons. While many demons support the peace treaty, there is a powerful group of rogue demons who hate humans and are willing to stop the treaty from being signed. These 2 attackers are just the first of many assassins that Taki will need to face before the night is over. The blackguard draws a gun and points it at the demons. One of the demons laughs, not believing that a simple gun can hurt him. With a sick cracking of bone, his whole head springs from his body and leaps towards Taki. It sprouts tentacles and looks ready to tear the young man apart. Taki fires once and hits the demon head perfectly. A powerful beam blasts the tentacles apart. At that one moment, the second demon grabs Taki from behind. It has exposed ribs that have a mind of their own, wrapping around him and holding him in place as his partner's head wakes up and slithers towards him. Before it can reach Taki, a woman's voice rings out through the fog, taunting the demons. Before anyone can react, a woman in a black suit appears and slices the demon's head to pieces. This allows Taki to break free and kill the demon holding onto him. He looks up at his savior and sees the beautiful partner he was promised. This woman introduces herself as Maki, the other blackguard assigned to protect the ambassador. Taki is stunned by her beauty and compliments her, which the woman accepts. Inside the airport, the pair get to know each other and come up with a tentative understanding. They don't trust each other yet, but recognize that they must work together to ensure the treaty happens. Getting back to work, they prepare to receive the ambassador, an old man named Giuseppe Maillard. He is a retired mystic, believed to be centuries old, and the peace treaty cannot happen without him. They spot Maillard's plane descending from above and approaching the runway. Without warning, a strong blast hits the plane, blowing it up on impact. The intense light from the explosion rocks the airport and sends everyone into a panic. Taki look on in horror. They cannot believe someone would destroy an entire plane just to kill the ambassador. But then they're interrupted by a tiny old man in a tracksuit. The man isn't panicking like the others, and he is actually eating popcorn as he cheekily watches the carnage. He reveals that he is actually Maillard, and he caught wind of an attempt on his life. The ambassador had switched to an earlier flight, undeterred by the smell of barbecuing flesh from the burning wreckage, or possibly by no doubt having to use his frequent flyer miles. The old man immediately starts to talk about beautiful demon women and flirts with Maki. The young demon lady does not appreciate this one bit, and when he tries to touch her, she slaps him off. Alright, great. This is just great. Taki here should already by now be able to tell that this old man is going to be a handful. He's impulsive, doesn't follow instructions, and worst of all, isn't afraid for his own safety. The bodyguards will have to fight with someone like this every step of the way to convince him to take measures pivotal to his own safety. Taki should advise his partner to try and, well, win the man over. He's clearly not interested in him, and since Maillard is smitten with her and cannot be motivated by fear, Maki might be able to, well, charm him by making him believe that he has a chance with her, and that he needs to fall in line as a technique to impress her. The old man is obviously big on sleaze and will be motivated by it. So, if Maki just plays nice with him, she might be able to motivate him to follow instructions, and the next best thing the guards can do is give him a little bit of a sedative so he's knocked out for the remainder of the night. The old man is tiny and should not be too difficult to carry around. Having a few extra pounds of baggage, it's still much easier to manage than having to herd someone who is willing to slip off in an earlier flight without telling anyone or draw attention to himself by standing on a railing and watching a disaster like a blockbuster film. They could have given Maillard the option to take something to help him rest well the night before his big signing, or even better, they could offer him a drink laced with sleeping pills without him knowing, so he can't protest. The bodyguard should not assume that the demon's main goal is something as straightforward as killing the ambassador. Give him some credit. Instead, they should observe their actions to better figure out what their true end goal might be. Taki missed an important clue back at the runway. If he had taken a moment to analyze the demon's plan, he would have realized that their actions do not make sense. For political assassinations, the element of surprise is one of their biggest assets. They need to catch their target off guard, because their targets often have heavy security. The demons willingly put the ambassador on high alert just for a chance to kill Taki, and this means that taking his life is more important to them than taking the life of the ambassador, and that's a big clue. Combined with the attack by the succubus from the night before, there has to be a hidden motive here revolving around hurting Taki himself, so Taki needs to get to the bottom of this before it's too late. The old man joins his black guards in a car, and they are en route to a special hotel where they will be able to stay for the night, and the old man will not stop flirting with Maki. He insists that he has heard rumors about how demon women make good lovers and wants to try it out for himself, apparently really confident in his stamina. The woman is completely uninterested, and they pull into the hotel. Taki explains that this is considered a safe hideout because it is protected by an energy barrier designed to keep demons out. Once they get inside, the hotel manager explains that they had had to clear out all the other guests for the night, and they have the whole hotel to themselves. He also points out that they have increased the hotel's energy barrier by 3 times in case demons try attacking again. Mayart complains about the building's smell being musty and outdated style, and he's not a fan. But Taki insists that he goes up to his room and stays there throughout the night for his own safety. The old man finally agrees to go upstairs, but continues to complain about not having anything to do. And then he points out that there are, well, many massage parlors nearby with beautiful women who offer special services for, well, perverts like him. And he wants to go out. The guards say nope, and Mayart begrudgingly agrees to go to bed, but only if Maki sleeps beside him for the night. The guards share a look, but Maki reassures him that she can take care of herself and agrees to the old man's request. Taki heads downstairs and kills time by playing chess with the hotel manager. They appear to be old friends and are able to talk openly about their lives. The manager asks Taki if he is happy in his job, but the young man is not that sure. He explains that he is still searching for something or someone truly worth protecting. Sometime later, the men hear a strange noise in the distance. The building starts to rumble violently, and massive cracks form across the doors and floor. The demons are trying to break in, and that's when a demon bursts through the floor and into the building. He is very acrobatic and dodges every attack. Taki and the manager throw at him, smirking with smug confidence. The demon lets out a powerful scream, which blasts Taki into a wall and rips the hotel manager's arm off. Both men fall to the floor, unconscious. With the first line of defense down, the demon heads upstairs to the ambassador's room. Maki tells the old man to hide in the bathroom and gets ready to face the demon herself. He breaks through the door and takes off his sunglasses, recognizing Maki. She apparently has terrible taste in men because this demon is her ex. Ouch, that's awkward. He calls Maki a traitor and attacks her. The woman puts up a good fight, but he is stronger, just as he is about to kill her. Taki reappears and shoots the demon, blasting his torso wide open, and he lets out a cry of pain before slumping to the floor, dead. Okay, so these guards are useless. They just missed one of the most essential and obvious parts of protecting someone. Stay unpredictable. The demons were only able to attack because they already knew enough about Mayart's travel arrangements to blow up his. Duh. This means that his entire itinerary has likely already been leaked to the enemy. They gotta change things up. The ambassador only survived because he had the right idea of changing up his routine to something unexpected in order to get the demons off their trail. These guards, they're a piece of work. That continuing on with the same plans was a big mistake. By taking the ambassador to the only hotel that is protected in the city, you put a big freaking target right on your back. And also, it's listed in the itinerary that has already been leaked. They might as well just have rolled out the red carpet for the assassins to target them. I mean, oh my gosh. Even worse, the hotel had taken some very easily detected and public measures to prepare for such an arrival, such as not accepting any other guests and increasing their barrier strength. You'd think assassins might pick up on that. Every untrained demon in the underworld would be able to tell that Mayart will be staying there for the night. If I were in Taki's shoes, I would use the hotel as diversion. I would instruct them ahead of time to keep the same level of security in place, but ordered them to put out a request for more freelance security guards for the night. This is designed to force the hotel into putting out calls for extra security experts through their extensive networks, or even place public ads. Then I would send Maki to continue on to the hotel with our vehicle while I slip away with the ambassador by ourselves. Maki can act very privately and lock herself in the ambassador's room at the hotel for the night as if he is with her. The plan here would be to draw as much attention as possible to the hotel and make people think the ambassador is there for the night, and then trick the demon assassins to focus their attention into breaking through its tough security. In the meantime, I would secretly swap to a new car which isn't being tracked and use it to hide the ambassador in plain sight. By losing the formal wear and dressing as locals, Taki can take the ambassador out to enjoy the nightlife in the city. Risky, I know, but the old man needs to have some fun. The key here is to be as unpredictable as possible. The bar should be selected completely at random rather than one Taki already frequents. Not only that, they need something to keep Mayart occupied. No assassin would expect somebody who is meant to be so by the book to go so far off script and make an extremely risky play of taking the ambassador to a public bar with zero security. Taki exchanges a look with his partner, relieved that they both have survived. They go to the bathroom to check on the ambassador, but find no traces of him. He has snuck out through a window. The old man's next move would usually be a big mystery, but recalling their conversation from earlier and looking at the dirty magazines all over the room, gross. The guards figure out instantly that he has gone to a massage parlor close by. Mayart is indeed getting scrubbed down by a woman at a parlor. She seems smitten by him and compliments his body, saying he looks great for a 200-year-old, and the old man misses the red flags that this young woman would be coming on to him and starts getting closer to her. To his horror, his hands start sticking to her body as her flesh dissolves into a disgusting sludge. The woman is a demon, yet another assassin sent by the underworld, and the ambassador can't move and sinks deeper and deeper into her body. By the time Taki and Maki arrive, she has already consumed over half his body. Maki extends her razor-sharp nails and holds them to the demon's throat as Taki struggles to pull the old man free. He finally gets loose with a sickening splash. With the ambassador free from the demon's clutches, Maki extends the claws into her throat, killing her, and the demon's body dissolves and melts away. Their troubles are far from over though. Mayart is in very bad shape, and he writhes in pain and can barely move, curled into a fetal position on the ground. The demon has managed to drain most of his life force before the guards could get to him. The guards rush him back to the car and start driving, with time running out quickly. The hospital is an hour away, and the old man is fading fast. Taki is willing to try his best to save the old man's life, but things are about to get a lot worse. A strange red glow appears in the distance behind the car. As they speed along down the highway, the glow expands and starts catching up with their vehicle, and it spreads quickly and engulfs everything in its path. Maki looks worried and explains that this is the demon space. The rogue demons are trying to drag the car and everyone inside to this other dimension. The advancing red glow is too fast. It quickly catches up to the car and overwhelms it entirely. They're now in the demon space, and there's no point trying to run any longer. Taki pulls over, and everything around them is shrouded in an eerie fog. Okay, this is terrifying. From what Taki can see, we have no idea what this demon space is or how much more powerful the demons are inside of it. From what Taki can see, they are at the very least cut off from the human world and are unable to call for outside help. His boss also told him that a group of rogue demons have illegally broken into the human world to assassinate the ambassador. These demons likely broke in through their world, the demon space, meaning that there will be a lot more angry demons here than in the human world, including those who did not bother to break through the barrier into Earth. The first priority would be to escape, so then they can regain the home ground advantage. If the demon world is anything like the human one, it will be filled with all kinds of demons. Weak ones, helpless ones that Taki can easily overpower, and that is what they will need to venture out to look for. The demons will know to look for them in their car, so the group's best bet is to escape on foot. They can always try to return to their vehicle later, after they have escaped the demon space. Maki here will be their best asset in navigating this dimension. As a demon herself, she will know the rules of the demon space and how to use them to gain an advantage, and which demons they can scout out for, weak ones. Once they find a helpless little demon wandering around by itself, the black guards could overpower it and take it hostage. Demons aren't known for their loyalty, but a little intimidation and torture should get the demon to agree to help them break out of the demon space. It's sad to say, but saving the old man seems like a lost cause. He has 30 minutes left to live, and unless a freaking miracle happens, it does not look like they will be getting out of the demon space anytime soon. Taki may need to start looking for ways that the treaty can still proceed without Mayart. If the man is merely overseeing it, there might be a way. Taki needs to contact his boss for a replacement diplomat as soon as he escapes. If Mayart is meant to be one of the signing parties, then that makes things a lot more complicated, but interesting. The first thing the Blackguard should do is get as much information out of the old man while he's still clinging to life. Mayart might be a reckless pervert, but he's not an, well, evil person. By emphasizing that the world is at stake, he could be convinced to give an example of his signature, so the treaty signing can be forged even if he dies. The succubus demon had shape-shifting powers, and that means that such abilities exist in demons. Mog here might just be able to transform into the ambassador for the signing tomorrow and use what she can on Mayart's mannerisms and forge his signature to seal the deal as the old man. The old man starts to convulse. His body jolts about in pain, and he stumbles out of the car. With a cry of pain, he throws up a slug creature. The demon woman had planted this parasite inside of him during her attack. The parasite leaps at Maki. She tries to swipe it with her claws, but misses. It slithers up her sleeve and starts to infect her. Taki stares on in horror as his partner collapses. Her clothes swell and rip as the parasite expands rapidly and bursts out of her body. And now fully grown, the parasite emerges as a giant worm with raw red flesh. It wraps itself around Maki, paralyzing her. The woman senses there is no hope for her and begs Taki to save the ambassador. Tapping into her last bits of energy, she manifests a blue beam of light which shoots out from her chest and into the sky. She tells Taki that the demon space is about to open back up and he should get out of here as soon as he can. With no other choice, Taki carries the unconscious ambassador back into the car and speeds away. The beam of light expands into a bolt and strikes Maki and the creature just as the car escapes demon space. The creature is blown to bits and Maki is flung through the air. Believing that his partner is dead, Taki is heartbroken, but continues on his mission to save the ambassador. Maki's sacrifice was not in vain though, and Taki makes it to the spiritual treatment hospital in time. Inside of the hospital, the old man is immersed in a vat of healing liquid with tubes inserted into his skin. The doctor tells Taki that he will be able to fully recover and that the process should only take a short while. He also assures the young man that the energy barrier around the hospital is 20 times stronger than normal and that they should be safe here. And at that moment, a hospital assistant bursts into the room with very, very bad news. The demons are attacking again and have surrounded the entire building with miles of demon space. Taki rushes outside, where a crowd of hospital workers have gathered to stare at the terrifying sight. The sky has turned blood red as demon space looms all around them, and suddenly the voice of the demon leader rings out. He tells Taki to look and projects a horrible horrifying image onto the ground. It's Maki. She is alive, but is in the demon's lair and being tortured by several demons. The demon leader challenges Taki to try and rescue her, and the young man instantly accepts. Before he can leave though, Mayart emerges from the hospital. He has mostly recovered and demands that Taki stays by his side, protecting him. The old man reminds him of how important he is to the treaty and dismisses Maki as a demon who isn't worth saving. But Maki dismisses him and drives off on his own, determined to save the woman he has grown to love. Oh, Taki, my good man, you are not making a lot of sense here. If he really loves Maki, this isn't the only way to show it. The woman is sworn to the blackguards and willingly gave up her life so Taki could escape the ambassador. She clearly wants the treaty to go ahead, so why don't they just honor that wish and leave her there to die? Because clearly this is an obvious trap and you shouldn't leave the old man alone with complete strangers. The demon assassins have clearly done their homework and have placed agents at the airport, hotel, and massage parlor, and they were all obvious places the gang would visit. If this is the only spiritual hospital for miles and they know Mayart is dying from a spiritual attack, it's painfully obvious that the hospital will be the next stop. The night's events would suggest that the demons would already have an undercover agent waiting in the hospital for their arrival, and that Taki should stay as the ambassador's last line of defense against further attacks. It is not like he will be able to do anything to save Maki on his own anyway. He saw multiple demons torturing Maki in the vision, and this means he will need to take on at least 2 demons, plus their leader, and have no element of surprise and no special powers. These are impossible odds. A much smarter play would be for him to finally tap into the resources of his agency. Taki just overheard from the doctor that they have cells all over the world. They are the ones who might actually have a chance at overpowering the demons and saving Maki. Since no one knows that the old man is actually recovering well, Taki should call his boss and make up a story about how they need to get Maki back in order to save the ambassador. Most of the details can remain the same. Maki was partially absorbed by a demon who drained the life from him, but Taki should let them know that the spiritual hospital is unable to save the old man unless they know what kind of demon attacked him, and that only Maki has that information. This entirely believable lie makes a lot of sense, because many of these rogue demons are her old friends. The one who attacked the hotel was even an ex-boyfriend of hers, which makes sense that she would be the only one who knows the demon who attacked Mayart, what powers it used, and how to treat it. Spinning this lie would let Taki have his cake and eat it too. He gets to stay behind to guard the guard and make sure that the peace treaty happens, which is also Maki's last wish, and at the same time, his story would convince his boss that an army of blackguards needs to be deployed to save Maki, opening up a chance for the woman he loves to be saved, without Taki needing to put himself at risk, or even lift a finger. Taki arrives at the demon's lair and comes face to face with the head demon. He asks Taki what he really feels for Maki and if they have consummated their relationship yet. Taki refuses to engage with the demon and demands they let her go. The demon ignores him and calls a tall, slender woman forward. She is also a demon with very special powers. With one piercing stare, she starts to hypnotize Taki. The young man is stunned into a trance and stares helplessly as light emerges from her body, and she starts to draw him in. Tapping into his full force of mental strength, Taki manages to draw his gun. He breaks her hold over him just long enough to fire, blasting a hole through her body and killing her. More demon henchmen attack, but Taki shoots them one by one until only the demon leader remains. The demon is more than ready to face Taki. Drawing from the sludge from the corpses of his henchmen, he forms stone armor around his body, and he also summons demonic hands to hold Taki against a wall. Before he can even react, the demon impales him in the side, and the demon grins sadistically, and he prepares to land a second killing blow. And at that moment, a mysterious blue energy coming from an unknown source arcs across the room. The bolts break Maki from her chains and helps Taki break free. Thinking quickly, Taki shoots the demon in the mouth. The blast shatters his stone armor and blows his body to bits, with his head landing on the floor with a sickening thud. Taki runs over to check on Maki, who is hurt but alive. She's very grateful to see him and tenderly places her hand on his body to heal his wound. The couple then decide that it is time to return to the ambassador and face up to their mistakes. They arrive back at the hospital to find Taki's boss and colleagues there with the old man. Taki's boss is furious. He tells the couple that they have failed their mission and embarrassed them all by abandoning the ambassador. He fires both Taki and Maki as blackguards and tells them to get lost. The couple reluctantly leave, but back in the demon's lair, the lead demon isn't dead. In fact, his head is already halfway through regenerating a new body. With all his henchmen dead, only the succubus demon with a spider's body remains on his side. He tells her to go after Taki, and she gleefully agrees. Cruising aimlessly along the highway, Taki and his partner are dejected from being fired. Well, I would think so, you guys suck at your jobs. The couple nonetheless reaffirm about how much they've grown to care for each other and exchange a loving look. And that's when they hear a familiar voice from the back seat and see their worst freaking nightmare. Ambassador Mayart has tagged along, and he starts talking about wanting them to escort him to exotic places filled with beautiful women once again. But Taki insists about taking him back to the hospital, and the car enters a tunnel. Maki calls out a warning, and nets of webbing shoot onto onto the car, spinning it out of control, and it crashes and overturns, stunning the couple and knocking Myart unconscious. The succubus demon crawls down from her web and approaches the car menacingly. Okay, what did I say? She would be back. She would be back. And is she back? Yes, she is back and is clearly out for blood. There's no use reasoning with her, and the blackguards need to fight back now or be killed. Ensuring her web powers and true spider-like form, she has also given away some of her weaknesses. It is very common for spiders in nature to have 8 eyes. The jumping spider, for example, even has eyes towards the side of their body. These secondary eyes can see in as high resolution as the pair facing forward, and they may only be able to see in black and white. Nonetheless, they offer something very valuable to the spider's aggressive and defensive capabilities. They allow the spider to see what's behind them, and this works perfectly with how spiders, like the demon, are highly mobile and can climb in any direction. This terrifying succubus demon may have a spider's web shooting abilities and an ample number of mean quips, but she does have a very obvious weakness. Unlike a real spider, she has only one pair of forward-facing eyes and long limbs and hair on either side, which further obscures her vision of what's behind her. Her elongated body also makes her rear especially vulnerable and slow to react. This means that if one of the guards can distract her long enough, the other can sneak around and attack her from her vulnerable side, since this nightmare also appears to shoot webs out from her, well, privates. Chopping up the back portion of her body will also disable her webs, making her far less agile and dangerous, and will disable her ability to trap them. And the succubus also doesn't seem to have spotted the old man, and she has no reason to believe that he was in the car, since Taki and Maki were fired from his protection detail. It's a long shot, but Taki here can also try bargaining with her, promising to deliver the ambassador. The old man may be very important, but hey, if you gotta choose between the ambassador and yourself, choose the ambassador and let him die, because he doesn't actually need to keep his word. He's fired, remember? He could also use elements of truth to make his pitch more convincing. Taki lands a kick on the succubus, but she very quickly gains the upper hand and wraps him in her web. Maki rushes out to save her boyfriend, but is also stabbed by the demon. The succubus wraps them both up and suspends them from the ceiling of the tunnel, and she grins at the helpless couple and starts to slash them again and again. And suddenly, another blue bolt of energy strikes out of nowhere, knocking the demon out of her web. Another powerful bolt blows a hole clean through her stomach and kills her. The demon curls up and dies, and the couple lays bleeding and unconscious in her web. Sometime later, Taki wakes up in a bed, and he notices Maki beside him. They've survived. The woman calls out to him, and he cradles her face lovingly. They are super relieved to still have each other, and then their fingers start to unwind, and then they kiss and eventually make love, and it's all great. After all that, Maki tears up from happiness. She points out to Taki how special this is, because demons shouldn't be capable of crying. The young man assures her that whatever is happening to them, they're still in this together. The couple venture out of the room to discover they are in a church. The doors to the church creak open, and a familiar face emerges. It's Ambassador Myart. Before he can explain anything though, tentacles burst out of the statue behind the couple, and the lead demon is back at full strength and has come to finish what he started. The ambassador keeps the demon distracted and tells the couple to leave, and he seems like a completely different person, and sidesteps the flailing tentacles easily with acrobatic ability. Puzzled, Taki pushes Myart on what is really going on. The old man reveals the truth, that Taki and Maki were never guarding him. Oh, no. It was Myart who was sent to guard them all along. The old man showcases his powers by summoning blue bolts to smite the tentacles. It was Myart who saved the couple back in the demon's lair and in the tunnel. He explains that the real peace treaty would be based on a union between representatives from both worlds. Scientists from both the human and demon side have identified Taki and Maki long ago as having the genetic makeup capable of conceiving a child together, something that is usually biologically impossible for humans and demons. And since this child would have both human and demon lineage, they would be the leader capable of uniting both species under the peaceful new world. Many circumstances from the previous night were engineered by Myart all along, in order to make sure that their genuine love would blossom. The demon assassins are very much real though, and Taki and Maki were their real targets all along. They want to stop the new era of peace that their union represents. As things stand, the threat posed by the lead demon assassin is very real, and now he's more resolute than ever to kill them. Okay, this old man's revelation changes everything. Taki and Maki just became the most important people for all of mankind and demonkind, and dare I say it, all over the world. Hence, it is downright silly to continuing to follow their blackguard training and put themselves in the line of fire, cause frick that. There's literally no one else on Earth more important than them right now, meaning there is no one worth protecting. Best thing they can do right now is absolutely nothing. They should leave the church and enjoy the rest of their lives and leave Myart to fight the lead demon on his own. The old man's power has beaten the demons on 2 separate times now, in the demon's lair and in the highway tunnel. He is more than capable of handling himself against just the leader. power. Leaving the fight also provides the perfect distraction for their enemy. If Taki stays, the lead demon's focus will remain fully on winning the fight, as his main aim is to kill the young man anyway. But if Taki flees, the demon will grow desperate to not let him slip away, and will make more reckless moves to quickly defeat the old man so he can catch Taki. This lack of focus is exactly what Myers will need to land a lucky and hopefully deadly shot on the demon. And once the battle is done, the future is gonna look great for Taki and his partner, because ever notice how people go out of their way to cater to celebrities and bosses or cult leaders? Even if it goes against rational instincts, it is very common in human nature for people to defend causes that they feel strongly about. Taki and Maki should realize that they now have the most powerful bargaining position in existence. They have all the ammo they should ever need in order to be able to inspire that level of loyalty in others, since they literally represent the continued survival of both species. In fact, studies have shown that one of the key techniques used by cults to build loyalty is instilling an us versus them mentality, so followers will cut off and reject output from anyone other than those they recognize as an authority. Once Taki gets out of this situation, this is exactly what he should do. By contrasting the looming threat of the rogue demons against the better new world only him and Maki can offer, he should have the world on its knees shouting "Hail Taki, hail Maki," and start basically a worldwide cult. Though starting one might be drastic, but hey, who would dare stand in his way? Plus, this is the only way to ensure that there will always be humans and demons ready to lay their lives down in order to defend them from any coming waves of attacks. With this newfound power, he could recruit a new wave of black guards who will devote their full attention to protecting him and Maki. That way, he and his dream girl are finally free to go on their first freaking date and just enjoy the good life for once. Mayart leaps onto the church's roof to confront the lead demon. Using his shadow powers, the demon casts a murky shadow onto the old man and starts to suck him in. Sensing he needs help, Taki joins the battle. Together, they overpower the demon and cleave his body apart, but this isn't enough. The demon starts to regenerate again and returns as a grotesque monster with exposed tendons and rows of fangs. Mayart explains that it will be difficult to defeat this demon for good, as he can simply regenerate from their attacks. And that's when Maki appears in the tower above them. She has her claws extended and is shimmering in a radiant glow. Leaping from the tower, she faces through the demon's attack and slices him down the middle. The impact completely shreds him apart, far beyond anything what he can regenerate from. The last of the rogue demons is dead. Bits of sparkling particles start to rain down around them, and Mayart is amazed. He explains that Maki's newfound power means that she is already pregnant with Taki's child, and oh boy, their baby is gonna be the promised leader of the new world, and is already on the way. He opens the church doors for them to the radiant day outside and encourages them to step out and enjoy the life that they have ahead. The church bells ring out as if in celebration, and the couple steps out into the light. So guys, what do you think? Did you like the video or didn't you like the video? Let us know what you think about it. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and leave a comment down below. And as always, don't forget to check out our How to Be playlist.